Hello and welcome to the Mindset and Mindfulness Podcast with me, your host, Sandy Powell.
Hello and welcome to today's episode. Our guest today is Laura Boshoeve. She is a manifestation teacher and a motivational speaker from the Netherlands. Welcome, Laura.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, I'm so excited to have you. Let's get started with telling us a little bit about yourself so that the listeners get to know you a bit.
Yeah, so I'm indeed Laura. I'm from the Netherlands. I am 37 years old and I started my coaching business about 3 years ago. And back then I still did human design and NLP. And I quit with human design very quickly, actually. And now I am a manifestation teacher and motivational speaker. I'm just starting this out at the moment. I also help people build their business, so it's a little bit of business coaching and manifestation together.
Oh, nice. Is that what you did before you started?
When I just started out, I actually help people to help them remember who they are and what they want and what their purpose is, what their mission in life is. And most of them, they wanted to become a coach or a healer or do something like that. They just wanted to make an impact, help people out in their way. Some people wanted to do something with meditation. Other people wanted to do something with music. So many different variations, but they all wanted to become a coach or a healer or something like that. So I felt like I wanted to do a little bit more than just help them remember who they are and what their purpose is. I really want to help them to manifest it in real life, like with the real strategics, with the real hands-on theories to really get your business starting and get your first clients in so you can really feel the confidence of, yes, I'm doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, good. Yeah, tell me more about that. How did you get started? How did you get into the manifestation side?
Yeah. Well, we have to go back a little bit then, I think. Yes.
Yeah.
I think for myself, I started practicing these techniques for myself about 10 years ago. And I think back then I didn't know it was called manifestation techniques, but at the moment I think I know. But at the moment I was just practicing it for myself. And that was because 10 years ago I got into an accident. And I just had to quit my job because of that and really get into self-development to really refine this self-development for myself to heal myself.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry it happened to you.
Yeah, no worries. It's a long time. Sorry?
A car accident? Or
Well, it was against the car, but I was on a bike and I was hitting the car at the wrong side of a door. So it's really hard to explain if you can't see it. But I hit the car on a very unlucky way and I got a whiplash.
yes.
So yes, that was a very painful experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. But I'm glad to see you doing better.
Yeah, thank you. I am.
And manifestation helped you to get back on
Yes,
track?
manifestation helped me very much. And it was because, before the accident, I was working at a bar. And this was actually always my go-to place to work at a bar. So I tried many, many, many different studies, many different places to work, but none of them sticked with me because I always felt like this is not it, this is not it. So I actually lost myself also a bit in the years before the accident, and I did feel like I had tried everything. I didn't really try everything, of course, but it felt like I had tried everything and I didn't see how to move forward anymore. And well, actually, the day that I did an interview with another job, on that day I got the car accident. So the accident, not a car accident, but yeah. So it really, it really put me on a stop. So I really couldn't do anything anymore after the car accident. It was really um, yeah, impactful, very big. At that moment, I couldn't see that. At that moment, I didn't realize it had such a big impact, of course, because it takes a long time to accept overwhelming situations like that. But yeah, it took a long time. And well, I think like after a few months, I started to think for myself, like, okay, so I couldn't do the job anymore. I couldn't see my friends anymore. Like everything at that point was overwhelming. Everything was super painful. And I started to think like, okay, so if everything, not everything, but if so much things are overwhelming, if so much is painful, then there must also be something that I still can do, because nothing is black and white. So I really want to see like, hey, there must be something that is still possible. And I really wanted to look at the possibilities of how I could heal myself and how I could, get better again. Because I remember the doctor saying that I would have to be living with it, but I refuse to listen to those kind of things. So I remember that one day I was laying in bed and was thinking of what is still possible. And I remember thinking, okay, so I can still breathe, still working. So that was something. And I could still think, I could still use my mind. So maybe these things seem like very small things, but for me, those were very, very big things.
Right, because you still had control over something, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. So I started to use these. I was not raised with spirituality or any personal development kind of stuff. The whole world was totally invisible for me. So yeah, I really had to discover that for myself. And I felt like, okay, so if I use my breath and if I guide my breath towards my heart or towards my brain or towards places in my body that are hurting, I can heal these places in my body. And if I use my breath to slowly open my heart or slowly, guide my mind with my breath in a way, I could visualize and see a future where I am healthy, a future where I am doing all these things that I wanted to do, well, when I was a kid and not lost in the society. Like when I still wanted to be on stages and I wanted to impact the world, I wanted to help people and I wanted to climb high mountains and all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Uh-huh. Yes. Yeah, your story brings me back to
Uh,
an accident I had myself
yeah.
in 2010. So like, yeah, 14, almost 15 years ago now. I had a car accident coming back from work. I got stuck. Like, yeah, in traffic, like it was like stop and go traffic on the highway, the Autobahn. And then like yeah, it just opened up a bit. So we were all kind of going faster because there was a split, and so it went in different ways, and the traffic seemed to go that way. And here it was free. So we're all going, yay. And then all of a sudden it came to a stop. And so I stopped, but the car behind me did not. And he like ran into me like full speed. Basically, he tried to stop, but like it was very. And so like I saw him coming. Like I am sitting there like, oh God, this car looks too fast, too fast. So here I am. I'm trying to get out of the way. And so he pushed me into the median, the middle. Instead of hitting all the cars in front of me, like I got a little bit out, but not all the way. So he pushed me. He impacted me, sideways and totaled my car into the wall, basically.
Well,
So it was just us impacted at that moment, but obviously like my car was totaled and ambulance, and I was on the news. And yeah, I was pretty much, for a year, I was not good either. And the doctors also were like, yeah, you have to live with it and you're never going to be the same. My back totally messed up and stuff. I couldn't really sit and I had a lot of physical therapy and stuff like that too. So and chords and stuff too. Like it was pretty impactful as well. So I'm really feeling it. I was really transported back to when you said the accident, because that it changed my life as well. Because and we were just young,
Yeah, 15 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's very, like when they tell you, like in your 20s, like, well, you're never going to be the same. Like, this is never going to heal. Like, that's just something, you're not willing to accept. At least that was with me too. Like, I was like, I can't accept that, I'm never going to be the same. Like, so yes, I was also working extra hard. Like, I just kind of put that out of my mind. Like, no, I'm going to prove you wrong. Like, that's not going to be me. I mean, I couldn't sit up. Like I actually had to skip classes and stuff. I was like, I can't even sit like on a chair for a long time and stuff like that. Like it was really painful and stuff. But the mind is a
You're
powerful
here.
thing. Yes, here I am. It took a long, long, long time and a lot of work. It was very painful too, but
Yeah. How would you say it transformed you? Because you said it transformed you. So how would you say it did for you? What did it do for you?
Well, definitely shake me in a sense of, like you could lose it so quickly, like anything can change in 1 second. And just to really be grateful of everything that you take so for granted, especially in those younger years. I feel like, you do still feel invisible, right? Like we don't think about mortality and what can change. And we're so, like it's just like, oh yeah, everything is working, like
Yeah,
we don't really
exactly.
think about like, oh my God, like what if I, lose some kind of capability? I can't use my hand or my back or whatever anymore. And so of course that was very humbling. And I also had to focus on what is still working, what can I control, what can I do, but also look beyond. It really helped to look beyond and be like, no, like I'm not willing to let go of my vision of myself for the future. Like exactly. Like you said, I still do want to climb mountains. I'm only like 20 something. I'm not, like be like this
Yeah.
and just kind of accept it. Like I'm not, this is not my life,
Mm-hmm.
So it really helped me just to kind of explore. It helped me explore other avenues and just look around. What can be done? What can I do? How can I push myself? How can I work on myself to make that change? To pull myself forward, to pull my vision of myself into existence.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah. I strongly resonate with that. I understand. Yeah. Yeah, for me it also took a lot of time to start to remember who I am. Like these techniques, like in the beginning I was just doing them once a day or just experimenting with it a little bit. But I remembered at a certain point I got very consistent with it. So I visualized for 3 to 5 times a day, for example, for 20 minutes or a half hour, and then I used my breath work with it. And I did it for I think I did it for well, I'm still doing it. So I'm still doing it. But for then it was for healing, and now it's for my personal development and growth, and it's just a part of my routine. But in the beginning, it helped me to really get in contact with who am I? What are my yeses? What are my nos? And really get so super, super true to myself and really feel like, okay, so everything around me, I want to say no to everything. Okay, if that is it for now, then that is it. I'm not gonna please, I'm not gonna be untrue to myself, I'm not gonna say yes if I feel no. I was just so determined to just say, okay, if everything feels like a no at this point, fine. I still got my breath, I still got my vision, I still got myself. There's still something inside of me that is feeling
Right.
really good. And then, well, slowly but surely, I started to understand that these techniques can be used for so many things. So at that point, I used it for healing, but now I'm really using it for manifesting my biggest dreams and goals, like not the ones that are not true to myself, but manifesting the truest version of myself in every single day, like being the truest version of myself,
Right.
and keeping myself on that path, keeping myself on that mission.
How do you, how would you say like you start on that? Or is there like a tip that you could give, or like a how does one get started? If like a listener was interested, like how does one get started with manifestation? Or what is like, yeah. Is there like an intro exercise that you could maybe walk us through, or something you could guide us towards?
Oh, there's so many things.
Pick one.
Yeah. So I really like your point of view as well, to start with gratitude. I think so many things start with gratitude.
Mhm.
Um, so also in my teachings, I'm teaching that. Um, but I think like if you're a beginner, I think like the biggest thing that you can do is to start imagining this life. Even if you're wrong, like even if you have no clue, start imagining who you want to be as a kid, for example, or what lights you up, what gives you these feelings of excitement again,
Mhm.
and start playing with it a little bit. And then notice the feedback of your body. Like if you're imagining something, if you're envisioning something that is not true to who you really are, you're going to feel it in your body. You're going to get a contraction. You're going to get a feedback from your body saying, no, this is not you. Keep practicing.
Right.
So, yeah, and there's so many things I could tell about that. But if you're asking me like where to begin with, start playing with visualization, start playing with, and I have all the tools and techniques on how to visualize exactly. So what techniques are really good for that. But I think in the beginning, it's just try on an error. You start visualizing and notice the feedback of your body. Opening up is yes.
Right.
Contraction could be like there's a gift hidden in it, or it could be a no.
Right. Yeah, but
Mm.
I like that. I mean, that's, I feel like the beginning of every, right? Like you want to get in contact with yourself. You want to explore, right? Like I feel like, especially, yeah, my younger years, right? I was so in that hamster wheel of, like I'm just going with my life and I'm kind of progressing the normal stages. And of course, I felt like I was in control and I'm doing what I want to do. But like looking back at it now, I feel like I was just kind of, almost like, yeah, like I was going where the wind was blowing. You know what I mean? Like I mean,
Yeah,
yes, I was working towards, but it was more like a natural progression. I didn't really stop too many times and go inwards and ask myself, like, hey, how does it feel? Is that really what I want? Or is it just kind of, it makes the most sense right now? You know what I mean?
exactly. Yeah,
And
exactly. Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, like sometimes we just kind of get kind of sent on that track. And I feel like it's those moments, the car accident or those crazy moments that are trying to shake us out of that rhythm, out of that, I don't know, with the blinders on and just going blindly towards
Yeah.
something that are really there to give us the opportunity to shake us awake, to make us aware, like, hey, maybe there's something else for you, just kind of like bring us more towards the present. And yeah, like really getting in touch with ourselves, like really looking, hey, is this what you want? Is this, like have a look around.
Yeah.
And I guess there's usually some little nudges too, but especially in the beginning, I don't think you're listening to those. Not, I mean, not everybody, right? Sometimes it really takes something a bit bigger. And
Yes,
I guess probably
exactly.
in your 20s, there's so much going on too. Like, there's like so much, "Ooh, yay, let's just keep this going." So I guess it takes something bigger,
Yes,
like to
yes.
stop and look around and really go inwards. And I guess the immobilization helps, right? Because you're just laying there and like thinking about your life. And
Yeah. There's
so
nothing else to do than listen. Yes.
yeah. And I mean, it sucks. Like, yes, it sucks. Like laying there and being scared and you're like, oh my God, this kid, like, God, this cannot be my life kind of thing, right? At least that was for me.
Mhm.
But especially because, it's like I said, it's so sudden. It's one moment you're like perfectly fine, and then the next, boom, and it's like,
Yeah.
like I really had to grapple with that, like really sitting in it, like, my gosh, like how did I get here, and how did this happen? And oh my God, of course, a little self-pity, right? Like, oh my gosh, if I only would have been leaving 5 minutes earlier, what I could have done differently. I mean, like all the things that usually go through
Yeah.
your brain, right? I guess we
Yeah.
all have to go through that at first. But yeah, obviously, eventually I arrived at, oh my gosh, I'm not taking this. I'm not accepting this. There's more to my life than this. There must be a way, and I'll find it. So
Yeah. I
that's
like that.
cool, arriving at something like that, like really honing in on yourself, and just, feeling strong with the vision you hold for yourself.
Yes, exactly. Yes, and I wanted I heard a word that really was like, oh yeah, I want to talk about that because you were talking about the nudges that you're getting, and sometimes we need something bigger before we listen. So that's a whole other story. But I think like crisis is a catalyst for change. So sometimes we have first need like a very big crisis before we change, but hopefully if you're listening to this, you won't let it come that far, and you listen right now, and you take listening time to your intuition, to those nudges right now.
Yeah.
Because this is also something that I teach in my programs, is to I teach people to have like a routine in their life so they can move towards their vision. So their routine is not about being perfect. It's not about being isolating yourself from the world, or doing the practices perfect. It really has a bigger why. So why are you taking those moments of practices in your life so you can move towards your vision, towards your path? And well, these nudges that you were talking about, I see this as intuition that is guiding
Oh,
us.
beautiful.
Yeah. And there's something really I teach also a lot of things about intuition, and there's something really beautiful about it because intuition picks up everything. So it picks up the bad stuff, but it also picks up the good stuff. It picks up everything in the room. So you come in a room and you instantly feel like everything, all the possibilities that could be in this room and all the negative things in the room. So it picks up everything. So what you want to give to your intuition is a direction. You want to give your intuition a direction, because what else is gonna guide you to?
Mm.
So that is why envisioning is so important. When you first tap into this like higher version of yourself, this vision of yourself, this truest, most beautiful picture of yourself, even if it's unrealistic, even if your mind thinks like, it's never gonna happen, it's impossible, how the hell am I gonna do that? Skip all those thoughts and really think like, okay, so this is if I dream about this, I feel totally happy. Even if it's not my reality right now, but if I dream about this beautiful thing, I feel in alignment, I feel happy. So first, it's about allowing that to
Mhm.
really dream big and unrealistic, and to really feel those feelings again, allow those feelings again.
Right,
And
because
from
you don't, right? You're not in contact with that version of yourself. Exactly.
yes,
That's why we're letting go of a lot of these nudges. Like I said in the beginning, you're like in this, I don't know, this 9 to 5, or in your thing, and yeah, you're just kind of thinking, oh, like this is gonna go on forever, and oh, I've got this. I'm just kind of going on. So really, yeah, really taking that moment and taking that, yeah, those hints, and reconnecting with yourself. Like you said, for me, it was too, like, starting the personal development thing was not something I was raised in either. So really exploring that, and just, yeah, for me, it took a big action, I guess. It took a big change to really
yeah,
guide me towards that. But yeah, like you said, if there's, yeah, someone listening, like, really try and take the subtle hints, so you don't need to get a big crazy event that stops you in your track and shakes you awake. But then
yeah,
again, that also is helpful. I mean, right? Even if there is something massively going on in your life, like, just know there's light on the end of the tunnel, and
yeah, of
something
course.
crazy going on, like, there's always something to make it through. We're two good examples.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, but I
know.
do want to like emphasize like intuition can guide you towards anything. So if you just start listening to nudges, it could guide you to anything. So if your vibration is low, if you are in a low state of mind, I think nothing is possible. If you have all these limiting beliefs and stuff, it's gonna guide you towards that. So you really want to start with allowing this big dream, because then it's gonna guide you towards that. Your intuition, these nudges are gonna tell you, hey, maybe today take a left instead of a right. Hey, maybe call that guy. Maybe you should, like, it has,
try out
yeah.
a job or whatever. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's also a big point you're bringing up, like the whole where your energy goes, you know, like, or where your mind goes, your energy flows. So
Yeah.
right, if you're talking about all the drama, all the bad thing that always happens to you, then you invite more of that in, versus, you know, working on the positive, like, oh my gosh, today, you know, there's this beautiful sunset and there's this and this is all going well in my life, and really just more calling on those things that, you know, come into your life that are more positive. Yeah,
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Beautiful.
that's definitely a good start as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and this often raises the question. So often when people hear this, I'm sure there are many listeners right now who think like, yeah, but I can't fake it. I can't fake being happy if my reality at this point is like not happy at all. So this is often the question that arises when we talk about this stuff. And in a way, they're right. And in a way, you can, because it takes a lot of practice to keep on practicing being this truest version of yourself until it becomes the real you. So in the beginning, it's going to be uncomfortable because you have to let go of an old identity and step into this new identity. So this old identity is going to say, yeah, this is fake. You're going to fake it. But at the same time, you do want your whole body, everything, all the cells, everything in your body to be on board with what your vision is. So you can't just say, that's my vision, I'm going there and I'm just gonna do it. Like, I'm gonna be positive today. Well, everything in your body says, no, I am not. So it's really a slow process of getting all these limiting beliefs which are stuck in our body, all these fears, your inner child, your sabotage, everything that is stuck in your body, to get that on board.
Yeah. Yeah.
Slowly, with your breath, with your mindset, with the way you talk, with everything you do. It's a
Right.
slow process. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's one that you want to start. You want to start somewhere. And I feel like, yeah, that's what the visionaries, that's what the dreamers do, right? They are so many people that have done some great things. They are called visionaries and dreamers. They're called being stuck in their head, but that is exactly what pulled them forward, that made them such wonderful people, right? Because
Yeah.
they're allowing themselves to hold on to that vision, to dream big, and then let them that vision guide them to make it come true.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Beautiful. Yeah. So true.
Yeah, so really feel into that. And even if it's just a little bit, I mean, right? Like, I feel like back then, yeah, I just wanted to, yeah, like still travel. I wanted to move. I wanted to move the way I wanted to move, you know. I didn't want the restriction of like, oh yeah, you're never gonna do this and that again.
Mhm.
God, that's so no, like I know there's more. I still have so many more dreams and goals that I want to hit. I want to travel. I want to see the world. I want to climb up mountains too and stuff. So for me, that was my vision. That was something I was holding on to dearly, even though, right, there were the setbacks. And of course I was struggling with it at first, but like I really at some point moved towards like, no, this is what I'm thinking of, and this is how I'm gonna go there, whatever it takes, basically. And
Yeah.
just worked on that, chipped away on that, and held on to that. Whenever I felt like really low, I was, you know, going to my happy place and envisioning myself, okay, like how does that look like, feel like, you know, me climbing that mountain, me, I don't know, standing somewhere and overlooking, you
Ah,
know, and
yes.
things like that. I mean, really just stepping into it. Like for me, that wasn't faking it. It was just kind of stepping out of my current reality. Yes, but really going, like you said, to the happier place and really allowing myself to just kind of slip away and like envision it. And it made me feel so good and so strong, right? Like it's so bad. Like it sucks, like laying in bed and feeling so weak and not being able to do the things you want to do. So stepping out of that and just finding a place where you can feel strong, empower yourself, right? To find that strength within you. I feel like that's so important. That's right. That gave me the strength, the fire to kind of go out there and not just have it in my head, but really make that come true.
Yeah. And maybe like I really see like the way you're speaking about it, and you were also doing these gestures. So for the people who are can see us, you were not only thinking about it, you were really taking all these feelings of that vision in. And that is that's actually what heals us. That's actually just giving yourself, indeed, allowing these feelings to be on top of the mountain and feel that. Like, how does it feel to be there? And these feelings, allowing these feelings, you can just literally feel. When I'm hearing you speak, I can feel how that feels. It's really opening up, and it really gives this sparkling feeling, and that will heal so many parts of your body.
Freedom.
Yeah.
Of the mountain.
Yeah, amazing.
Yes, very powerful. Very powerful.
Yeah. Mm.
Yes.
I like it that we had such a similar experience, like, and also the similar way to work through it.
Yes. Yeah, it's funny, right? How you get connected with these people. And at the time, right, you think like, oh my gosh, I'm like the only person in the world like feeling this or doing this way. And then, later you're kind of like, oh my gosh, yeah, there's so many different stories, so many like changing moments, catalyst moments, right? Where people just kind of have to wake up and get shaken around and stuff. That's why I love like talking about this stuff, because it's so interesting, how everybody has their own story, but how you can also find like the guiding thread, right?
Yeah.
What does it take to get you here? What did it take you? And there's usually, like we said, right, there's usually the little nudges, but usually then something bigger, because you were just not listening back then. You weren't in tune.
Yes,
These
indeed.
days, right, we can listen to those nudges. Because
Yeah.
we're more in tune and we're more like aware, and we're like, oh no, I don't need another big event. No, we're cool.
Yeah.
But I guess it takes that one big event at least to make you sensitive, make you
Yeah.
aware of what's
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
yes. But it's just so powerful. I really, it was something I wasn't aware of. Growing up, like you said, we weren't really growing up with the stuff. So it's really powerful. And it is a long road. Like you said, it's like little steps, little things, but it does become, one thing comes on top of the other, and you keep on exploring, and it's definitely a worthwhile journey to go on for anyone who's
Definitely.
listening.
Yes.
Yes. Start listening to, the little voices inside. Whether that is, a childhood dream or something you always wanted to do, or whatever is calling you, like give that some room, give that some air, because it's nothing worse than getting to like a point in your life where you regret, not doing it.
Exactly. And really start seeing like what is possible, what do I want to do? Yeah.
So many people hold back and like, oh, when I'm older, I'm gonna start travel later, when this and that. But you never know. Like I said, life can be, I mean, the accident could have killed us both, right? Like, I mean, it could have also been the end, and then there would have been that. So you never know, your tomorrow isn't promised. So just really, at least that's my mantra. Like, I'm trying to live every day, like as best as possible. And of course, no, that's a higher goal, but it's pulled me forward, and it's really has me taking opportunities and realizing things much faster, instead of, I don't really, of course I have goals for the future. I mean, right? I have goals that I'm working towards, but I'm also trying to really live in the present and take as much things as I can, like now, right? Like yeah, if I can do something now instead of later, I usually take that shot.
Awesome. Yeah, this is also something I teach. Like manifestation is actually really, really easy. Like actually, we are all born manifestors. I believe in this. I did human design. I am like the manifestor type, but this is not. It doesn't have to do anything with human design. This is just everybody is a born manifestor, and manifesting is something that is really easy and actually really effortless. And I think many of us forget that because we have this, maybe, I don't know, maybe not everybody, but I think people have these link on manifestation that is like, oh, you have to grind, you have to work really hard towards your goals and make it reality and stuff like that. But I feel like everybody is a born manifestor because we all have a path, and all we have to do is allow this path and surrender to this path. And like I said, manifestation is actually really easy because you can do two practices for two pillars. And the first pillar is practice something to be happy in the now. So gratitude, for example, do a practice that gives you like, oh, okay, I'm here right now and it's all fine. It's good. I'm happy. Practice that. And then there's practices that help you to envision your future and to see your future. And if you combine those both, you get into this flowy state of like, oh, I'm happy right now, but I'm moving towards my future, and I'm guided by my intuition, and I'm just doing it, and it's fun. It's not grinding anymore. It's not chasing. It's just, oh yes, let's do it. I'm on my path every single day. Yay. It's that feeling.
Yes.
Yeah.
I see two things. Yes, so I was thinking when you said we're all born like that, yeah, I've envisioned, like all these little kids that you're asking, like, hey, who do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be an astronaut. Right?
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm thinking of. Like, yes, we are all born, and we all hold a vision, and we're going towards what we envision makes us happy, right? When we're a child. And I feel like, yeah, I guess society maybe drums that out a bit, right? Like they're like, like how realistic is that? And blah, 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 right?
Exactly.
Parents and the surroundings of like, like find something that you can achieve and, lower your standards and this and that. I feel at least like that's how I was raised, So I feel like that had a big impact on me and how I see the world, obviously. So I think though that's a bit shifting for a couple of reasons. So hopefully we're teaching our little ones a few different tricks these days.
Yeah.
And what was the second thing? Something else. Oh, you said, yeah, like gratitude, right? And I just wanted to go back to that because I remember a time where my life was also, right, like more, let's just say more bad than good, right? And there was not too many positives in there. And I really struggled with, finding 3 things or whatever I am grateful for and stuff like that. But it was also good to just kind of start looking for something, right? Like,
Yeah.
and really shifting that attitude towards gratitude versus, the drama and all the problems in your life, right?
Exactly.
And so like, yeah, I mean, I really I started writing things down at the end of the day, like, trying to get a list of like 3 to 5 things or something. And I was like, oh, that was a beautiful butterfly I saw, or like, oh my gosh, that, I don't know, that cake today was really good, or that conversation, or that hug, or that, yeah, I don't know, that movie, that book, I mean, basically I'm just listing like a few simple things. Like if you're stuck and you're like, my life sucks, where do I get started? What's the positive? Then
Yeah.
I invite you to really dig deep and look for some positives. And then really before you know it, it opens up so many other things, right? Like you're like, hey, I have an apartment, I have a house to come home to, I have I have clothes to wear, I have food, I have running water. I mean, there's a whole bunch of people out there that do not have, right, a safe place to come home to, or yeah, like open a fridge and get their food and things like that, or they have walked miles to, I don't know, get their water or get to education and they don't read and things. I mean, like there's a lot of things just like with our health, a lot of things that we take for granted, I feel like. So really shifting that mindset and being thankful for all that you have,
Exactly. Yeah.
really powerful, and
Yeah.
really helps you, you know, be in the present and really enjoying your present.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. Hmm.
Of course, the more you invite that in, the more you think about all the good things, the more you invite more of those positive things in, right?
Exactly. You're gonna see
Let
more of
go
it.
of all the not so good things, you know, like person that's always inviting drama to you, right? We all have, I think, like one of those friends that you then may or may not, you know, be able to let go of, and you're like, oh, you know, okay. I've helped you. I've listened to all your drama, you know, enough times, and now it's okay. Or
Yeah.
yeah, like just it shifts. It just shifts things around you, and you attract more of the things that align with you know what you're putting down these days. You know, so
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
really just start with the littlest, tiniest shifts. Really start with the yeah, like visualizing. You know, envision just whatever you feel like you know makes you happier. And you know, if that's a new job or a different, I don't know, travel more or whatever, a relationship, I mean, whatever floats your boat, right? Just try
Yeah.
and go with that, and just kind of yeah, let it guide you to the more happiness, more happy.
Exactly. Yes. And there is like another thing that you can do. You can also be like thankful for the things that are right here, right now. And you can also be thankful for the things that are going to come. So the things that you envision, and call in that thankfulness that you feel like you, when you are on that mountain, when you are on that stage, where you have written your book, when you have started your business, whatever your dream is. And feel those feelings, or feel the gratitude that you have in that moment as if it is right here, right now.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that too.
Fully stepping into that. That's true.
Yeah.
Not just, oh,
Yeah.
I want to be an astronaut, but like really, how does that feel? Why do you want that? You know?
Yes.
Have that freedom, you want to be up there, you want to see it from above, like really like how yeah, really stepping into that. Yeah, it's very powerful.
Exactly.
Very powerful. Mm.
Oh,
Yes. All right, is there anything else you want to tell us about? How is this
well,
I know you have a challenge coming up, but
yes.
this podcast is not coming out until after it's over again. So that's
I
why, is
realized
there
it
something
too.
else you might want to? I mean, I can put something in the show notes, of course.
Yes, I do have two programs. And I also think this challenge will be next month and next month again, but I'm not
Okay.
certain about that. So, yeah, I can't really say it out loud yet, but it is a thought on my mind. And yes, that's a manifestation challenge. But the things I teach in this challenge are also in my program. My program, Marry Your Vision. So it's like a really 2 or 3 month program where you really get started and really get into manifestation techniques. And it's a full program where yeah, you're really going to marry your vision. So it's about consistently manifesting your dream life. So it's about this getting in this flow state again, and getting in this um, yeah, in this allowance of your dream. So well, it's so much more to say about it. But yeah, it's about getting all the tools and techniques to really also dive deep into these limiting beliefs, into the sabotage, into the fear, and really get those on board with your vision. So it's not about digging up emotions. It's not about getting rid of these fears, and it's really about getting them on board and shifting them, and really shifting those beliefs. And it's also about taking tiny little steps towards your vision every single day. Yeah.
Right. I think that's important. Just kind of
Yeah,
keeping at it. Just kind of, right? Even if it's the tiniest shift, what can I do today?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Even the tiniest shift can make, right? Like if it's a millimeter shift, like down the line, and you know, you realize how much you have deviated, even with that little action, right? The
Yeah.
worst thing is just to kind of get stuck and be like that going forward. But if you just have a
Exactly.
teeny shift, you know, it
That's
can make all the difference in the future, and really just yeah, think about it, like what do you want, where do you want to be in 5 years? Where do you want to be in 1 year? Do you want to be at the same spot, or do you want to have some kind of difference, and then just kind of working towards that?
1% better every day. That's my mantra in every way.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. So if people want to connect with you and maybe take that chance, get assistance in how to manifest their better version of themselves, what's the best way to connect?
The best way to connect is via Facebook. I'm most online on Facebook, also on Instagram and all the other social medias, but I'm most online on Facebook. My name is Laura Boshoeve. You can check me out there.
Yeah. Yes. And I'll put it in the show notes as well. So
yeah.
Connect with this beautiful lady.
Thank you.